Hello, and welcome to the Old Farm Bus Podcast. This is the back of the bus session.
Hello and welcome to the Old Farm Bus, back of the bus sessions. Today's guest is blooming talented. You're really blooming talented, mate. I've been listening to your Spotify at the minute, and you've been blowing my mind a little bit.
Thank you.
You've just blown it even further when you said, how old are you?
15.
Whew, okay then, I'm going to give up everything that I'm doing at the minute. 15 years old. Right guys, we've got somebody on the back of this bus, so when I say this name, you're going to get a proper crowd reaction this time. I'm very excited. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, on the Old Farm Bus, Beau Presley. Yeah. Here we go. About 200 people on here, you know. Please don't arrest me. So, Beau, how are you feeling, brother?
Yeah, really good at the moment.
We're in strange times, aren't we, mate?
Oh, yeah. It's really weird. It has been really good for me, though, I have to say.
I was just going to say, because we've been talking before all this, and I'm like, are you struggling? How's your music? Are you struggling creatively? Because that's the sort of, what everyone's been saying to me is like, I'm just in a complete dip at the minute. I don't know what to do. Yeah. You're like, it's brilliant, mate. I love it. I'm doing the most music I've ever done. Yeah. I've got a new manager and just living life, man. So tell us about that. Like, what's happening?
It's going really well. So lockdown really at the start of it was when I first started recording at home. So all the stuff on my Spotify was all done at home. Right,
okay. Oh, wow. So bedroom mixes and stuff.
Yeah, all that sort of thing.
Were you doing the mixing and mastering and everything? Or?
Yeah, so for the first two songs that I released, so I Don't Mind was the first one, and then Duly Noted Disregarded.
Is that the one that everyone's gone mad for?
Yeah. That's, you know. That's the bigger song, for sure. And so those two were done... So I recorded them at home, and then sent what I recorded to my drummer Louis, who we'll talk about later because he's awesome.
The guy, Big Lou.
Yeah. And so I Don't Mind, for example, I recorded my parts and then just said, "Oh, just chuck some drums on." And so he literally in his room as well. He's 15 as well.
This is my favourite kind of stories though. I don't like it when it's like we went to the studio and then we sat there do this, but it's like just fancy getting a bit of music together. Just go in your bedroom, rocking what you get out. Like I'm really into a band called not a band but an artist called Scroobius Pip.
Oh yeah.
And you know like the Streets of Mike Skinner, have you heard of them?
Yeah.
I looked through their old Instagram like really like years and years ago.
Yeah.
But they've put like holding up sheets and holding up bedding.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yeah,
so, like, what's that, like a pop shield?
Yeah.
It's so homemade, self-sufficient, isn't it?
Yeah.
So is that what it's like in your bedroom?
So, well, all the songs that were recorded in my bedroom. So since then, we've moved to the spare room. So we've just moved all my equipment in there. And that's sort of just where I stay all the time now.
Beautiful,
you know,
mate. If always cooking up something new.
Literally, I spend all my time in that room.
How many instruments are on that track that you did? I Don't Mind.
So I Don't Mind is bass, drums, guitar, vocal.
Oh wow, nice and simplistic.
Yeah. So really, they're all demos.
And do you play everything bar the drums?
Yeah. So on that one I do, and then on Duly Noted Disregarded, I play guitar and. Obviously I sung on it as well.
Yeah, you've got a voice, but
thank you.
Got a voice. Did you have that from being a kid? Like, were you singing straight away?
It's honestly, it's only recently that I've started singing.
Coming into it,
you know, since last summer.
Okay.
Really, so it's not even that long.
Is that a confidence thing? Did you have to build up that?
I think it is. I remember. I tried singing when I was still in primary school. So it's like on the last year. I did like a cover of what is it? Time of Your Life, Green Day.
Come on, sing a bit. Something unpredictable.
Such a good song.
But in the end, it's right. Do you know why I know that? Because I did that for a music performance as well.
Really?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I love that song.
My dad trying to teach it me on guitar one time, and I was like, "This is great." Green Day were beautiful, weren't they?
Yeah.
Everyone's doing that classic joke at the minute. Do you know, like, wake me up before September comes?
Oh, yeah.
So I've just seen, like, loads of memes pop up on the internet about that.
Yeah, it's funny.
So do you have quite, like, a varied music taste then? Is it eclectic and all over the place?
Definitely. One day you'll catch me listening to Slipknot and all that sort of stuff.
Is it?
I'm big on a lot of metal.
Okay.
And then other days I'll be sat listening to stuff like Chet Baker.
Is that your dad's influence? Is Gray into like the heavy metal style?
Both my parents, they've both got such a varied music taste. So my mum would be sat in the car and she'd have some Bjork on or something like that, some 07.
Bjork's amazing.
Yeah,
I love her just as a person.
Yeah, she's cool.
Do you catch her in interviews and stuff?
Yeah, have you seen that? You seen that video where she's sat explaining how that TV works?
Yeah,
love that
to
video.
the intricate details and just breaking it down, and my mind's just like, what are you doing? Like, it's so cool.
Yeah.
Could you imagine being inside that mind all the time though? Must be quite a weird world, and trying to interact with people must be quite alien because they don't get your reference points all the time.
Definitely.
It's like pixelated art, and you're just like, you're crazy. I like it.
Yeah, she's very cool. And then my dad's really big on Tom Waits. So I've got huge Tom Waits influences. So all of the stuff that I write is really jazz based.
Okay.
I'm really big on jazz and
fantastic.
And obviously Tom Waits does some really weird stuff, some really out there stuff, and I think that's where that jazz influence started. Really.
What about the lyricism as well? Is that
lyrics for me? When I write stuff and it's something that I'm working on, I don't really have much to complain about.
I get you.
Writing about like, my life's so hard.
It just wouldn't feel right, would it?
Doesn't. No. So my lyrics are more like. It sounds really shallow, but they're sort of just words that sound nice together and rhyme.
That's ace. Yeah, that works. I've prefer writing like that at the minute. Because I've had hardship in my life, and writing was there for me like as a cathartic tool and a really beautiful way of expressing. But then later on, when you start living life and it's nice, like, oh no, I feel like I've got to keep portraying this like I've had it hard, kid. But it doesn't come from true feeling.
Definitely.
So I've got into this place now where when I'm writing, I'm just doing stuff that I like the sound of as well.
Yeah.
Just like I'm having a baby soon. I'm so excited. My little Ella's on the way.
Oh, congratulations!
And thank you so much, brother. And I'm just writing about her at the minute, but in like a really playful, happy way.
Yeah.
And not having to feel like I've got to make people cry all the time or do these things.
Yeah. So if you listen to my lyrics, if you read them out, you'd be like, oh, it's just he's had his heart broken. He's just singing about that. It's like I'm 15. I've not experienced that. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I get you.
And I think I've always been quite an empathetic person. Like, I've always been able to sort of put myself in someone else's shoes and see how they're feeling. And so I sort of write in a way that allows other people to relate, or so I think. Because I am writing for other people. Because that's what you've got to do. I am trying to make it, so you've got to cater to everyone.
Isn't there? There's like writing for self, like people, you can really feel like raw emotion in people.
Yeah.
Or it's like, well, what's the scene after at the minute, and what are people wanting to hear?
Exactly.
So that's a beautiful way. That's a very conscious way of seeing things, man.
Yeah. So music for me is a huge release. So writing stuff. But that's not necessarily in the lyrics.
Yeah, okay. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah. My best friend just plays instrumental. He's literally a wizard on guitar. He's so good. But I've been to it, and he doesn't sing at all, has no lyrics, just gets on a stage for half an hour.
Yeah.
But you just watch him go into a trance, and he's just away with the music.
Yeah.
And I didn't appreciate it properly until I went to see him live.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, what lyrics do for me, the guitar does for you.
Yeah.
And I can really feel that.
Yeah.
And just, he's gone. Is that how you feel when you're playing then? Is that
definitely? I think
where your head's at?
I do put a lot of it. I put more thought into the music itself than the lyrics anyway. So the most recent songs that I've written, I've spent hours and hours on the instrumental.
Yeah, it comes across, man. It really does. The energy that you provide is other. There's people on this level, and then you're like, whoa, Beau, where you go? I'm just so excited about this interview because I get to do that thing when I'm, 10 years time where I'm like, I met him when he was 15, I interviewed him. Hey kids, watch this. That's just a great thing for me. It's all about my ego. So what about at school then, man? Like, are people achieving the way you're going? Are people, because you seem like you're quite tenacious, you're really pushing music, you're pushing yourself, and you just got great attitude. You're 15. What about all your mates? Are they just like farting, playing football, playing games, and just?
I've always been really lucky in the way that ever since I was little, I've always thought. When I was little, I was like, I want to be a rock star. I want to go off and do this, and that's always been there. That's always what I've thought. So I've been really lucky to know what I want to do.
Was there any reason behind that? Like inside, did you watch a film? Did you like see a singer or go to a live gig and you were like, wow, that's exactly what I want to do? Is that?
I don't think I could pinpoint it to any one moment.
Yeah, just a build up.
I think a lot of it was the exposure to a lot of different types of music. And I remember just watching my dad just sit in the conservatory play bass and and I just thought, that's really cool.
I've just met him now, and he's an inspiring fellow already, isn't he? He's just like, he's cool. He knows what he's up to.
and both my parents are tattooists, so I've always had that exposure to other art as well.
Right. That's cool.
We're a very creative household.
And I suppose like it's just passion, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just you're seeing people do what they love on the daily, and you're like, wow, that's what I want to be. Because a lot of people are going back and seeing people just trudge through life, live on this plain, narrow mind, and just like, I'm just gonna get through the day. Watch TV at night, but you're like, no, I want every day to be passionate, exciting, fun-filled, doing what I love.
Mate,
you found the answer
that's the thing,
early on.
I've got the upper hand because, as I said, I know what I want to do. And whilst I can be really lazy and I like to procrastinate a lot.
What doing? What's the thing?
Everything. If I'm trying to write a song, actually physically writing a song, guitar and trying to write lyrics. I found that that's not the best approach for me. But if I'm trying to do that, I will do anything to avoid it. Anything. And it was to the point where even just recently, like a couple of weeks ago, I had really bad writer's block.
Okay.
And it was I'd never had it that bad before.
Right. How do you describe it? You just literally were trying to put pen to paper and nothing would come out.
Yeah, it's just trying to force it a little bit, I think.
Yeah, it becomes contrived, doesn't it?
Which is weird because I found that, speaking with my dad. My dad's going to get mentioned a lot in this podcast.
Good. Mate, I'm buzzing from this because, like, I love my dad. He's a cool guy. He was, like, a semi-pro footballer and did well.
Oh, wow.
And my mum, horse rider. But
that's cool.
I didn't have, like, a close connection. If they were listening to this now, they'd agree. But we didn't have much love in the household. They were very doing their thing.
Yeah.
So I feel like I missed out on that. But when I see people who've got that, it just fills me with a lot of like good feeling. Can remember where I first met you was at Tom Grant's night.
Tom Grant's gig,
And when he got his dad on the stage with him, we spoke about that, but it was just such a good feeling. I was like, wow, I love that exists.
Yeah.
Just like family connection, you want the best for each other, you push each other on and you spur each other. It's just... It's great to see. So I've seen that in your dad because he's at all your gigs and stuff, isn't he? I think it's great that he gets a mention.
Yeah, for sure.
Got a lot of respect. You're a good guy over there.
So we just had a conversation about it, and he'd done some research, and it's sort of weird, like the way the creative brain works. We think, it's creative, so we don't have to treat it as like a routine thing or like a job. But obviously, if I'm trying to make a living off of my music, I've got to think ahead and think, I'm going to have to, at some point, make it a routine. So get up, have breakfast, watch telly for 10 minutes, and then start writing, have a break at lunch, and then write more. And it is about having that routine in there and sort of writing loads and loads of rubbish.
Yeah.
And coming out with one good song.
How bad is it? Do you know when you're writing stuff and you're just like, this is so bad? It's the worst feeling in the world, isn't it? You're just looking at it, it's like, yo, baby, I love you, my girl. And you're just like, what am I doing? Just throw it away. I think there's a beauty in that. And this is a perspective that I've never really had, because music for me, I did end up getting to do it for a living, because I was going into schools and teaching it, and obviously getting on stages. And the first time you get paid, you're like, you what? I just love it.
Yeah.
And then over time, it has eventually got to turn into a passion project for me, because I've managed to make money doing other bits like the buses and things, which is where I want to be. So really, now I'm living life. The writing side just comes to me when it wants to again. So I'm not had to think of it in the way you've just described it as a routine. But that does sound very interesting. So if you got that in mind, you get up, you have your breakfast, and then you go and you start going, right, it's writing time.
So the days that I'm not at school, that's what I try to do. But as I said before, writing with just a guitar and just trying to sing isn't for me as efficient as just playing, like just making a track without vocals, because I've always been more of an instrumentalist. Like at the moment, that's my forte. So I just sit for like the last 2 songs that I've written, and both of the songs that I've done with Joey. Joey Collins.
Joey Collins,
legend, absolute legend.
Joey, I know you'll be watching, mate. You're 8. He's such a good guy, isn't he? How did you stumble across Joey as well?
Oh, so I met Joey. I think it was at an open mic.
Really? Not in Notts, or?
And I don't know. We just started
Hit
talking.
it off. Because you've got a similar style, haven't you, the two of you, but very different as well.
It's like same approach, but different outcome.
But you're both very niche and very much doing your own thing. A lot of people, you go to gigs and nights out, and you've seen it 10 times when you see them, and it's good, and they're just maybe doing it for the love of it. I don't know. But you two seem to have your thing, and when you get on, everyone has to look up and they're like, oh, something's happening here, something new.
That's a good feeling.
It's cool, man. Did you start out as just imitating people? And
so I started when I first started doing open mics, I just did covers.
What sort of stuff were you bringing out?
It was loads of niche stuff, to the point where people would be like, oh, is that your song?
I get you. Okay.
And then I'd have to choose between lying or doing the right thing,
All been there.
Now I could look really cool here, or
Mate, I've had that in lyrics before when I'm like doing my spoken word, and one person comes up to you at the end and goes, that particular line is one of the best lines I've ever heard, and I'm like, oh no, that was from Plato. That was like ancient philosophy that I just picked out of a book because I loved it. It's all a lie.
So I just started doing covers.
Nice.
Doing covers from people like Rex Orange County, people like King Cruel and Yellow Days.
You've got a mix in your head, haven't you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, 100%. And all of that stuff is really, really jazz based, which is sort of my thing.
Amazing.
So yeah.
Can you do jazz drums? Have you ever learnt the drums yet?
I'm having drum lessons at the moment.
Because that's another like there's drums and then there's jazz drums, and you're just like, oh fuck, why are you?
You seen Whiplash?
Yes, that's a great film, isn't
Banging film. Rewatched it recently for like the millionth time.
Did that proper catch you out when it happened?
What, the
car crash? Oh, I don't know if I've spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. But when that moment happened,
to be fair, I think it was. The story's very good, but it's all a little bit far-fetched.
Yeah, totally. But then it was that moment where the big moment happened. And then I'm like, what's this film called? It all adds up. Yeah, it did get me, though. I didn't expect it, and then it just was whack. Yeah. It's cool, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a very good story.
That's one of them films you watch and you're like, right, I want to go and play every instrument I've got in the house now. Just inspiring.
Yeah, Miles Teller as well. Who played the main character? I forget his name.
He's cool, isn't he?
He's a really good drummer as well.
Is it based on a true story?
I don't think so.
No, it definitely would be a phenomenal story if it was true.
Yeah, I think it does sort of portray. particularly in jazz, because it's so, a lot of it's based on, look how hard this is, rather than look how nice this sounds.
Yeah. The graph behind it.
Yeah, and so it's sort of like, band directors, like in the film, can put a lot of pressure on the people they're supposed to be directing. And it's a common theme in a lot of jazz ensembles and bands, like that, where they're performing to compete.
Yeah.
And so I think it's sort of a portrayal of that. I think that
Makes sense.
the guy who directed the film was in a lot of jazz bands and had like a similar experience.
Right, okay.
Obviously, it's dramatised, but
yeah, you need to turn it into Hollywood at some point, don't you?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
That happens to so many of my favourite films. You hear the true story or something that it's about, and you're like, oh, you've ruined it. Like, have you seen The Pursuit of Happiness?
Oh, I've seen bits of that.
Whew.
It's
a big.
What I've seen is good.
Will Smith's probably my biggest inspiration of all time. Like, just the way he speaks, his passion, how far he's come in life, and what he's doing. But the true story of The Pursuit of Happiness. The guy was a massive jerk. He was just a massive idiot, and he was horrible to his wife, horrible to his family and friends, and was just really relentless.
Yeah.
And when I heard the true story, I was like, Will Smith was so nice. He looked after his kid. So let's go in as well. Are we allowed to talk about it? You've got a manager now.
Yeah, cool.
Amazing.
Well, it's sort of.
What if I hit here? What nail am I? What surface am I scratching away at?
At the moment, I'm working on an EP with Jason Hart. So he manages Georgie. His local artist. She's brilliant.
She's cool, isn't she?
Really
good. Catching up with some of her stuff.
Manages Jake Bug as well.
The guy,
the big one.
That name.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I've seen him as well in the Maze when he first, and he's just a kid.
Yeah.
Just a little tiny kid, just going and doing his thing. And then, what did you say was the moment that made him? Was it Jules Holland?
It was pretty much the Jules Holland gig was very, very big for his career.
Yeah.
I'm fairly certain.
Are you holding up for your Jules Holland moment?
Oh
then?
God, yeah. I've been watching Jules Holland since I was little, so that's a dream opportunity for me. Like, that would be really cool.
Can you remember the moment? And is it quite recent where you thought, oh, music is actually liable? It might happen for me. Can you remember when that all started feeling real?
I've always wanted to do music, since I was little.
Yeah.
And so. It's always sort of been like, I can make it happen.
Yeah.
If I try as hard as I can, and I put everything into it. And even then, nothing's guaranteed. None of this might not work.
Yeah, I get
none
you.
of this might. Yeah, none
that
of
works
this
for me, mate. Yeah. Don't worry, you're in Ripley now, mate. We speak cavemen here. Mew, otter, man. I love it.
Oh man. Yeah. So. But that's all right. If it doesn't work, that's fine.
Have you put all your eggs in a basket? Like, have you just like, no, this is what I'm doing. I'm going to run it at 100 miles an hour, and there's no other possibility at the minute.
I think so. I think
that's good. I think that's the attitude to run at.
Yeah. So I'm putting everything into writing and doing all of this, but also consciously thinking of a plan to fall back on.
Mate, I mean, if it does ever go to poo though, you do like. It's always easy to slot into things.
Yeah.
Like, life just appears and you make the best of it, don't you? But if you put all your energy, time and concentration on this is what's happening, I do, but especially for you, man, I think it's going to come through.
Yeah,
I really do.
I really hope so.
And, you can pick up little jobs, get a van. I've got a van and I'm getting money for just like doing random little jobs on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
You just...
That's the thing, I think... so I've been playing bass since I was 5 or 6.
Oh, that's a cool instrument.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
so
sexy.
Cool. Yeah, bass is my instrument. It's definitely my forte. I think guitar's a lot more fun because you can do loads more with it.
Okay.
And I've been playing guitar since I was about 9. Recently, last year, got my grade 8s in both of them.
Wow.
So that up until last year, it was the plan was always just to be a session musician.
Really?
And just play for other people.
Had you done much of that?
Not really. not loads. I'd played a lot. I'd played with people.
I saw you on a video recently playing ukulele for someone.
Oh yeah,
what's that?
Yeah, that was cool. So that was with a rapper, Skywater. He's from Nottingham.
Cool. This was such a cool. Was it like just out of nowhere?
Pretty much. So I followed him a while back, and I've been listening to him for a while because he does some really cool stuff.
Yeah.
It's really different to a lot of what you hear.
What's his name again?
Skywater.
Skywater.
Yeah.
Two things. Just put them together. See what you got.
Pretty
boom.
much. Yeah. And so he just shot me a message. He was like, "Oh, do you want to play some ukulele? I'll send you some melodies."
Did you go busking?
Yeah, pretty much. It was just like, just to be recorded, you know, because cool. It was for a song that he was about to release, and so it was like promo for that.
Amazing.
To make a video and all that for that, which was
so
it was really cool.
Bass, ukulele, guitar, piano.
A little bit.
I've heard people like usually start out on piano because it gives you a good spectrum of chords and understanding of music. Is that right?
I think so.
I've only got my voice.
Yeah.
What do you play?
Sort of
this.
Like, yeah. Because everything's right there. Like, I'm not trying to say that piano is really simple.
Yeah.
It's not. I'm not
Jazz
trying to say that
as well.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah. It's insane. But I suppose on a beginner level, because you've only got to think about one thing, really, in terms of rather than plucking a note and fretting it at the same time,
and then singing as well.
Down. Yeah.
God, patting your head, in your tummy, sort of thing.
Yeah, that took a long time for me to learn as well how to sing and play.
Have you got other passions than music? Do you have escapisms and ways of?
Sort of. I think I sort of dabble in some other things. So I enjoy art, painting and stuff.
Okay.
I mainly do that in school.
Yeah.
And you know that's I took art for GCSE, and it was more as just like a lesson where I can just go in and just draw some stuff and just chill out. Do you know what I mean? Like,
it sounds like you need it though, man.
In the midst of exams and all of that going on, you know, I think it's important to have that sort of just chill out time.
Do you know Sam Heaton?
Yeah.
Yeah, from Airloo. He came and did a podcast and he said something really interesting to me because he was getting really successful playing Glastonbury, doing these things, and he went to a retreat with the band and he went for some counselling. Yeah. And they were like, what else do you do? And he's like, no, music. And they're like, yeah, but what's your hobbies? Yeah. He's like, well, music's a hobby. Yeah. This is what we do. But they basically says you need something else because no, music's your job. Now, if you treat it as a job, you're going to need some escapisms as well to sort of like just enjoy life a little. So he started going and painting Warhammer. I love Warhammer as well. But then and just having little days out with his mates and visiting castles, and I'm like, it's really important, isn't it? Because as soon as you start going hammer and tong at something, you risk that element of falling out of love with it because it's all you know. Yeah, it gets a bit tiresome, doesn't it?
Definitely. I sort of found that when I was working through my grades with my instruments.
Right.
You know, because you're doing you're practicing the same thing every day.
Yeah.
And whilst you're doing the thing you love and you are enjoying it and you're enjoying getting better in the whole process, it's sort of like, oh, this is quite boring. You know, I'm progressing, but I'm doing the same thing over and over again.
Right. Okay.
And so I did and I still do. I did go through sort of phases where I was like, oh, is this really what I want to do?
I get you.
You know, and that still happens. You know, I'll still think,
just flip me back on. We love to talk us.
So I've forgotten what I was going to say. What was I saying?
Where were we?
Falling in and out of love with music. Of
course.
So I still have them sort of days now where it's like looking at the future and just feeling really like, like the odds are against me because, you know, in the industry they're against everyone.
Of course.
But then it's just about sort of thinking like, they might be against me, but at the end of the day, like, I really enjoy doing this.
Yeah, that's...
So why would I give it up?
Coming from a loving side towards it again and seeing it as that passion, not letting it get distilled. I think that's a really, again, great attitude to have towards it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, with bad days particularly, it's important to be able to just, you know, step to the side and look at it from a different angle.
Have you got a goal in mind? Have you got like a moment where you're going to look back and go, yeah, this is where I want to be. This is the moment. Is it where you just looking at your bank account and you're like, I'm doing okay, looking at your car, material side? Or is it when you played on a stage that's... What's that moment for you look like where you're making it, I suppose?
So I'm not massively fussed about money. I know I say that now because I don't have to pay tax or anything like that, you know. I don't have to actually support myself.
I get ya.
You know, so that might change in the future, you know. But as of now, I'm not too fussed about money. As long as I can live comfortably in the future.
Amen, brother.
You know, then I'm fine with that. I can live comfortably and do what I enjoy doing. You know, I think I put a lot more value on increasing a fan base.
Yeah,
almost,
that's what you...
And reaching out to more people. I think that's a lot more important to me.
Because like people are like, oh, figures are nothing, figures, but genuinely though, when you're looking at, like, I did a video about my friend who died to a knife crime incident, and it was my most like precious piece. But I remember I put that out and it just probably hit like, I don't know, 50,000, 60. It did mean something really special to me though, because it was like, I'm looking at it and I'm like, imagine that here, 50,000 people. It's a beautiful...
It's a lot of people.
Thought, isn't it? That they've took time to look at your art and give it the time of day, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's not just numbers. You feel like you've actually reached people. So I think that would be amazing.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
do you love getting on stages? Like, do you thrive to be in front of an audience?
Yeah. I've always been a performer.
Yeah. I can tell it. You've got that cheeky face, like the cool, like. I can imagine you getting up there. It could have been a comedian or anything, but I can see you as a performer.
I really do enjoy it. You know, like being on stage, I'll like make a mistake in what I'm saying, like because I won't plan anything like in between songs.
Cool.
It'll just sort of come out.
Yeah,
and I'll
that's
make
right.
a mistake, but then like I don't know, sort of just go through with it. And so it's just I just, you know, I'm really comfortable.
Do you get
stage.
Nerves? Do they come out as well?
Yeah,
like
definitely.
beforehand?
Yeah, I'm always nervous.
Right, okay. I think that's good.
I think that's important.
Somebody said to me once, nerves are the respect that you pay the audience. And I think that's very true.
Yeah.
That actually turned how I saw things on its head. Because when I was getting up and giving talks and I was like sweating and panicking and thinking about it, I was like, oh, I don't want to keep going through this. And when he said that to me, I was like, yeah, just the reason I really care about this is because I want them to have a good time.
Yeah, exactly.
And I want to not put on like make an idiot of myself, but like for them to have the best time possible.
Yeah.
Is that how you feel with your
definitely. Whenever I do get nervous, it's just like, oh, you know, it just does show, you know, how much I care about what I'm doing.
Yeah,
like,
man, 100%. If you didn't care and you just got up there, the energy had come across. Yeah. People wouldn't vibe it, and you'd just be giving out rubbish.
Yeah.
So, have you come up with like the next steps for Beau? Like, do we know? Are you allowed to say? Is it secretive? Are you
sort of
on a
know,
mission?
It's all, we're all taking it by the day.
Yeah,
you know. But hopefully, I'm working on an EP at the moment.
Oh, beautiful.
So there's some reworks of old songs on there.
Are you allowed to collaborate?
Yeah.
I want to collaborate with you.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. Yeah. There's a song on there that Joey Collins features on.
Sick.
Hoping to get a feature from Skywater, like we mentioned before.
Nice, yeah.
Which could be really cool. Just a cross of those two worlds. You know, it could be really cool.
What, Joey and Skywater and you on that?
Different tracks.
Different tracks in there. Yeah. How many's on this EP?
I'm thinking 4 or 5.
Beautiful. And what about like promoting it and stuff? Have you thought about that?
Promoting it, I don't really know what I'm doing.
Yeah, mate, don't worry. We're all in the blue.
You know. At the moment, Jay's been taking over my social media, and we're trying to just sort of. So I'm posting stuff, and then Jay will be looking at all the analytics and be like, oh, you know, who are we? Who's the target audience? You know, who can we capitalize off basically the most? And so that we're sort of dealing with the promotion side of things that way. But yeah, I don't know anything about
like, what about with Instagram? Have you got a good relationship with that? Have you, like me, are you always checking it, looking down, seeing who's on what, or do you put like technology to the side and just get on with your stuff, or is that how you procrastinate?
I think it is how I procrastinate. I'm not as bad as I was. I can sort of be like, oh, just keep saying
that's all right, brother.
I can sort of be like, right, I've probably spent a bit too much time looking through, just scrolling at rubbish now. I should probably turn it off. Yeah, it's sort of like that now, but it used to be a lot worse. 100%.
What about everyone at school? Are they very supportive of you? Do the teachers, your mates?
Yeah.
Is everyone looking up and like, bloody hell, mate, you're gonna do it?
So the teachers that I like.
The
teachers
ones
who
that are passionate about their job.
Yeah, the teachers who have taught me, and I've been like, oh, you're really good at what you do, and then obviously built those relationships with those teachers. I think that's important. I try to keep them clued in on what's going on.
What about the ones you're not keen on in education? What is it about them as teachers?
It's just sort of like I don't understand how a teacher can teach but be so unenthusiastic.
Yeah, man.
Like I understand that they're teaching the same thing every day and it's all really similar, but like if they can't inspire me to learn.
I suppose there's an element of the system, isn't it, in its way, because maybe they went in with good intention, passion and desire, and then it's like loads of boxes to tick. You just got to get everyone through hoops, and they're just like, what am I doing? So maybe that can come across, but I remember
that's the thing that I find about education at the moment. I'm definitely for education, obviously, because
people learning,
it's important. I just don't really like the way things are taught.
It's sort of like always planning for the future, isn't it? And again, it seems like it's built for a certain demographic of people, like people that can retain information and then regurgitate it in the right moment.
That's it.
I mean, I got kicked out of my schools, but it's because I had that creative mind, as you can tell, quite sporadic. I wanted to be moving and doing things, but they're built to sort of designed to sit you down, condition you to be in place. And there's just some people that really fall to it. A guy that I go to schools with called Martin Illingworth, I really respect him. Again, I think I mentioned this book a million times on here, but he's got one called Forget School, and all it is about is like finding people's passions, finding what you're interested in. If it's music, why can't we get you like writing mathematical lyricism and picking up songs towards science and things like that. It's got a great film out as well called The Only Fresh Air Is Outside in the Yard. It's like a 9-minute piece of this kid that is not naughty, but he's not a goody-goody. He's sort of that kid down the middle that you don't really ever notice. And he goes out of school with nothing, really. And but there's one moment at the end of the film where the head teacher finds out he won a fishing competition. And then all the teachers get a hold of this and they're like, right, in art they got him drawing fish and did that. And it's so simple to me. Like, cool. Just treating everyone as an as an individual. And just taking that to them. Does that make sense? Because I think things stay in here when they sit in here. And by the way, if you're just listening to this, I pointed to my head and then my heart. Just so you know. You forget it's sometimes just audio. I've got cameras, they'll do the rest.
No, I definitely agree. It's like the way they teach art and music, the creative subjects. There's drama as well. I was going to say drama, but a lot of that's just coursework. So I was like, no.
Mad.
Which is weird because I then chose history, which is loads of coursework. But I do really like history, to be fair.
But when you're doing drama, you're not up and about and pretending to be somebody else.
I'm pretty sure it's something like 60% of the course is written
crazy
stuff. It's mental.
The only reason I'd ever go into a drama class is because I want to run around and pretend to be other people.
And that's the thing.
Simple.
Like, even with music and art in particular, it's not as bad as it was anymore as it used to be. Because there's a lot more free reign with it. There's a lot more you can be creative with these things. But it's still very much based on how well can you copy this picture. And it's like, well, that's not art.
And the thing is
that's not how it's supposed to be done.
The world's changing so much and so dramatically, and the real things we need to be learning is like confidence and building up like real attributes. They're trying to just cram in information, learn these things, but I've got friends that did exactly what they were supposed to do, did their A-levels, got A star, ended up going to uni, got the firsts and everything, and they've gone into, like, say, media courses. Yeah. And I swear to God, I ended up with nothing, literally nothing. But they're getting in touch with me and they're like, Mikey, how'd you get clients? Yeah. Because I've not had any since. Yeah. I work with this big company. I've got all my like paperwork to say I'm a really good videographer or whatever, but nobody's coming my way. Yeah. And it's like, because you've not spent time to learn how to network and meet people and talk to people. Do you know what I mean? So school, it needs to like start sharpening its tools in for what future we're going into, I suppose. That makes sense. Yeah, definitely. But then you have got them good teachers that are supporting that and flourishing you. Yeah, definitely. You know, even stuff like, so I'm having to start thinking about college and uni now. So thinking about what uni courses I want to take, so I know what college courses I want to do. And there just isn't really that support from school. I'm sort of having to do it a bit blindly, to be honest, on my own. And it's fair enough, because the teachers have got a curriculum to teach. You know, that's not their fault. That's not the school's fault. But you're going into the unknown. Yeah. At least you got good support network. Yeah. You feel definitely. You know you're going to be on your feet, don't you? Yeah. 100%. Do you game at all? Yeah. Are you a gamer? Yeah, definitely. Go on now, just hit me with a few things. I like Rainbow Six. Not heard it. Really? What do you do? Siege. Tell me about it, man. Oh, it's basically 5v5. Right. It's like a really realistic first-person shooter. Okay. Yeah, like Call of Duty style. Yeah. But you don't respawn in one round. But it's basically like. Oh, what? Like when you're done. Yeah, pretty much. It's like search and destroy on Call of Duty. Yeah, I get you. But yeah, it's 5v5. Loads of different operators. So you got people. There's one dude who's got a big hammer. Are you playing online as well? Yeah, with your mates. Yeah, pretty much all the time. You know, I don't really play on my own anymore. Right. When I was younger, I used to be able to just sit and get through. Completing a game. There's no greater feeling when when the credits start coming down. It's like the greatest feeling. But now it's very much a social thing now. Yeah. I think, you know, it's time that I can just sit and. But again, that's like the old school attitude and the new school attitude. Yeah. Everyone's like, why aren't they getting outside? And which is lovely, building dens, climbing trees, doing like nature and things. Yeah. But like nobody's socialised anymore. But actually, like when you're in your room and you got your headset on, you're in a world of thousands of people, all connecting over a common cause. So that's sort of like misconception in my eyes. My best mate is a police officer. Yeah. And then as soon as he finishes work, he gets home and plays Call of Duty for like 10 hours straight, just sits there. Yeah. But I was like, oh, mate, come on, let's go outside. Let's do this thing. You're so unsocial. Sociable. That's the word, isn't it? But he's like, mate, come over to my house. And then I go and listen. I'm like, oh, you got loads of mates. We're all so connected. Yeah. So I don't have that view anymore. I sort of I respect it. Yeah. And it's a way of making viable income as well. Oh god, these YouTubers and people coming out with millions of pounds making insane money. It is real, because when there's a demand for something and people are supplying that, then straight away you've got a new avenue of making money. Do you watch like gamers and people like that? Or? I don't really, to be honest. I've never got into it because when I'm teaching in like secondary or primary schools in particular, they're just going mad for YouTubers and stuff. Yeah, it's a bit weird, isn't it? I'd rather play the game. Watch someone else play it. It's like going to a mate's house and watching them play it. You ever play any of the old school games? I know you're 15, but are there any remakes of like Crash Bandicoot and stuff like that? I'm big on Zelda's good. Games. That's a big one. All the classic Marios. Oh, mate. Because my mum loves like Nintendo and all of that. Really? So she'll sit down and just chill out together. Play through all them old school games. So that's where I get that from. I went. Chris is from Germany. We went to her uncle's in Berlin. Yeah. and we all got the Wii out for the night.
Yeah.
And started playing Mario. Mate, we got so like aggressive at each other, so competitive.
Yeah, that's us at home.
Is it? Like,
literally, yeah.
It was funny though, because I think Chrissy actually like got really miffed up at one point because I threw a banana skin back.
Yeah.
Knocked her off course. She's like, I was doing well for the first time.
Yeah.
She really fell out with me for about half an hour.
It tends to be how it
that
goes.
banana skin.
So funny.
That is a good way of escaping though, isn't it? It really is a nice way of just losing yourself again in a game. Tell you what, we've got into one at the minute called, oh man, it's the weirdest game, but it's the most I've never played a relaxing game before.
Yeah.
And you're a piece of cotton.
Right.
And you're literally, and you've got to just work out how to, what's it called? Unravel. Have you heard of it?
I don't think so.
So yeah, you're running around and you're attached to something and you've got to like climb up places and try and get to the next level and stuff. But me and Chrissy are a team. So she's a piece of cotton.
Yeah.
I'm a piece of cotton. We're attached.
Yeah.
And we have to work out like problem solving and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I'm having a daughter, but I'd love her to get into these sort of games because it's not just mindless nothingness.
Yeah.
You really have got to work out
it.
stuff and think about it and think laterally.
Yeah.
I think that's really good.
Definitely. That's the thing with the Zelda games, like, they're really hard.
Yeah.
Because you don't get any help.
People that have never played games before, and have no respect for them, really need to just try a few out. And it's not just like GTA going and killing a prostitute or something with baseball bat. I can understand them elements.
Yeah.
But then there's some games where you really have to like put in a lot of your mind for it and think about things.
Yeah, it's another art form.
I think that's what we should get people to do. Just think more.
Yeah.
Think independently.
Definitely. Yeah.
Have you seen on The Simpsons, there's a episode, I watched it last night.
Yeah.
But it's when Lisa says something and the teacher presses a button and it says an independent thought and they're trying to press it out.
Yeah.
That made me laugh. That's sort of how education is.
Yeah.
Do you perform much at school? Do you do like...
At the moment, there's not much going on because of Corona, obviously. But yeah, in the last few years I have. So I used to be in when I was in year 9, year 8 or year 9. The director of music, like the head of music, put together a band.
Sick.
It was so I was obviously I was year 8 or year 9, and everyone else was in year 13.
Right.
So it was
cool.
We had sax player, drummer, a pianist, me on bass, and a trumpet player. So it was essentially just a jazz combo.
Sounds ace.
And we just did loads of standards, and it was really cool. It was sort of weirdly, it turned into like a like everyone around the school knew about it.
Cool.
Like which is odd, because especially at the school that I'm at, like a lot of people don't really know about the music department, the music in the school.
Yeah.
And so we just do loads of internal gigs at school, and it was really good.
How does it feel when you start to get known? How are you taking that? And by the way, everyone, you will hear cockerels in this podcast. Like, it wouldn't be the old farm bus without cockerels. It's good because these are pretty good sound quality, so you can just hear the tiniest little cockerel noise when we hear it. But it makes me feel at home when it comes in.
Yeah.
I've just had people message me before, and they're like, "I kept looking for it around my car."
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I was just gonna say.
But yeah, what is that like? Going maybe down the street when you walk in places? Do you get noticed? Have you started having it happen?
Not really, no.
It's coming, baby. It's coming. Yeah.
I can imagine. I think I'd be in two minds about it. If it does end up, if that does happen, I think it'd be really, really cool.
Yeah.
You can then interact with this person that you've had an impact on.
Yeah.
Like, with what you enjoy doing, and I think that's really cool. That's really important. But at the same time, you hear about lots of people, getting really sick of it, like just trying to live their lives.
Yeah, of course.
I'm not saying that's going to happen to me.
It is, man. It's not. I think it's a really mature attitude, though, because when I go into primary schools, I'm like, what do you want to be when you're older?
Yeah.
And a lot of them just say famous. But they don't know what for.
Yeah.
They don't say with a passion, I want to be a footballer with this skill or a musician and pick up this art. They just say, I want to be known. And I don't think that's a very mature attitude because you could be known for anything. It could be a bad thing. There's a lot of famous serial killers out there.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
But to actually be of a mindset where you're like, I've actually touched somebody, I've actually connected with them through my art form.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful way of doing it. That's a great reason to want to be known for.
Yeah. So I love the way The Rock does it. You know,
if
he'll get swarmed by loads of people,
mate,
and he will spend the time of the day just to talk to them all and make all of their days. Mate. You know,
do you follow him on Insta?
I do. Yeah,
so cool.
Yeah, he's so cool.
He's got a lot of wisdom as well.
Yeah.
Are there any people you listen to for wisdom or for like just to like a podcast or anything like that?
Not really. My dad seems to think he's quite wise.
Oh mate, yeah, he's cool. He's just like literally when you get back, go on YouTube and just type in like The Rock interviews or anything, and he's just got this beautiful. He's come to a great point in his life, where he just gets it.
Yeah.
Don't worry, you've got The Rock behind you anyway.
Yeah, who's that? I've just forgotten his name. Is it Alan? Alan Watts.
Alan Watts. Oh,
I like
bless,
listening to a lot
man.
of Alan Watts stuff.
Where did you pick up listening to Alan Watts?
Loads of samples in songs that I listen to.
Yeah, lo-fi stuff.
Yeah.
Can you make lo-fi music?
Yeah.
Bro,
yeah, I used to make little...
Get in here. Give me that. Oh. Let's create.
Yeah.
I'm looking
really
for
cool.
lo-fi so bad.
The way that I started recording stuff, I used to make just little instrumentals on my iPod when I was little on GarageBand.
Mate. Get your wallet out and let me fill
it up. Yeah. So that just started from that, and then I just started making like beats, just getting used to Logic.
Because lo-fi is quite easy in its essence, isn't it? Maybe like 5 tracks, and you build up the drums and stuff. And it's what does lo-fi stand for? Low fidelity,
I think so.
Something like, but low quality.
Yeah.
So even having the little like brush marks or a bit offbeat, that's what makes it a great track.
Yeah.
So that's probably why I like it, because I'm offbeat with everything I do. Rhythmical Mike is ironic. I think we'll definitely get on to making a track together, brother. So have you got ideas now of like, if you're leaving here now and you're going home and you're chilling out for the day, what instrument would be the one that you'd pick up just because you absolutely love it the most, more than anything?
Oh, see, that's a really hard question, because it would either be bass or guitar.
Really? Okay.
I wouldn't be able to choose between the two, because they've both got different
abilities and qualities.
Yeah.
What was it you started on again?
Bass.
Bass is the starting point. That was how old?
Like 5, 6. Yeah.
Could you hold it?
Oh, it was much bigger than me at the time. Like,
What were you doing? Like, you'd have tiny little fingers.
Yeah, the first bass that I had was a tiny little one.
Oh, really? Cool.
And even that was quite big. But I've been playing bass for so long, it's actually like changed the shape of my fingers.
Oh, blimey!
Like, my fingers are actually.
Yeah, make sure you watch this,
flat.
guys. You can see some weird Star Trek fingers going on right now.
It's really
That's
weird.
cool.
Yeah.
It's like, I remember, because I gave up with guitar so early on, but it's because it hurt so much.
Yeah.
But did you just have to get through that pain?
Pretty much. The ends of my fingers now are rock solid.
Yeah.
It's just
Calloused.
Yeah, pretty much. It's mental.
Because I'm left-handed guitarist, and like the first guitar I had was honestly like cheese wire. It was like string.
Yeah.
And do you know, is it the action from the fretboard?
Yeah.
They were so high off of it, and you had to really to get a chord.
Really hard,
you had to like hit it down. But I'm going to pick it up again. I'm starting learning just because I've had a bit of time now.
Yeah.
And I picked up my dad's. He's right-handed, but I just like, I can do upside-down chords. I think that's how David Bowie used to play, you know.
Yeah.
I've heard.
I've tried playing a left-hand guitar. It's so hard.
But he's got a classical and the nylon strings, and the action's like really close.
Yeah.
So I played that and I was like, it feels delightful. And I think it's a 3/4 size guitar as well. So it just feels like I could actually bother sitting and playing this.
I play I've just started playing a 3/4 pink Epiphone Strat.
Oh, sick!
So it's really small. It's sort of become trying to build an image with it, sort of.
I get you.
Make it my thing.
Because you're at your thing that I picture you by. If somebody goes Beau Presley, I've got a white Fender with your like slip back hair.
Yeah.
That's what I've got in my head. Yeah. When did you get that white Fender?
That was that's actually mine and my little sister's.
Really? It's so cool, man.
Yeah,
That's iconic,
cool.
isn't it?
Really nice guitar.
My dad got one for his birthday, and I think it's the only time I've seen him cry.
Really?
Yeah, he was absolutely in awe of it.
Yeah, it's lovely guitar.
Nice to play. Yeah, but I honestly, man, watching you play and seeing you just get in the zone really does make me want to do something.
Awesome.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you see people in their awe, in their favourite place, you just think, right, I need to get into that. Because I feel it, that when I'm performing a piece of poetry, a piece of art, I feel it, but I think I'm ready to transcend and try something new.
Yeah.
Have you got that as well? Is there anything you'd really like to pick up next?
I get what you... Yeah. So the sort of stuff that I'm doing at the moment is a lot more commercial. I would say it's because obviously that's what you've got to do. You know, that's sort of just the sacrifice you've got to make.
Play to the market.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get you.
And so I sort of want to, even if it's just a side project, to release under the name, just doing some really just obscure, really weird jazz stuff. Would be
because
cool.
you're on the start of having a manager at the minute. Like, do you know the restraints you've got? Do you know, like, if you just wanted to do a little bit of fun project, passion project with your mates? Are you allowed? Have you got that ability?
I'm not too sure yet.
Okay, just waiting to see.
Yeah, so I think that all comes through the contract that you sign with your label.
I get you.
And obviously when that happens, we're just going to sit through and be really, really careful with it.
Yeah.
You know, because
weigh up all your options.
Yeah.
That's, again, man, you've been blessed with wisdom, brother, from the off. You know, you've got The Rock, Alan Watts and your dad all together. You're going to be fine. Because that was with one of my good friends, you know, Harley Blue.
She's some really cool stuff.
Power. I'm really good friends with her partner Ty, because I make all their films for the local healers. Do you know what, actually? Check out one of the latest ones. I can't remember what they called it, but I made the video around here. But it's the best video I've done, because we did all this, like, I used like nature as the green screen, so all the colours inside it change, and it's all like quite trippy and psychedelic. It looks awesome. But I asked her, I was like, okay, I'll make you the film, but only if Harley can sing on one of my tracks. Because she got some vocals there.
She got some soul.
She couldn't, because of what she was tied into.
Oh really?
Yeah, she's into certain things. So would you be fine with that though? Do you know, if they had reins on you and they told you, well, you can't really do that anymore, would that miff you off a little bit?
I think camera's gone again.
I don't shut up.
I think I wouldn't mind too much, because obviously, I don't know, I think this is always what I've wanted to do, and so I've sort of got to be a little bit selfish about it. And
sacrifice parts of your life.
I've got to sort of think, like, this is what I've worked for. You know, if I can find a better deal that benefits me creatively even more, then, you know, I'll weigh up the options and probably take that one. But if it's going to make me really successful, then, you know, I think that would probably be the choice. But I think when if something does happen like that, and you know, something takes off, I think it would be cool to sort of so you know how you see people complain about, you know, people selling out.
I get you.
Which I think is rubbish. I think it's just people taking a different direction in what they're doing.
Do you know what? I watched one of my favourite documentaries. I'm really into like soul music. And I love too. Bill Withers. And so I watched Still Bill, rest in peace, Bill.
R.I.P.
And I remember he said something so profound and beautiful. But he's like, do you know, if you've got like a sofa stall and you've got a shop, what sign do you want at the front of it? Sold out. Because that just means like the demand's so high for the music you're creating. Or your demands, your produce is so good, everyone wants it. It's just something as simple as that. I'm like, just allow it. Like, let people create that music that these times are asking for. And to the people. I love Ed Sheeran. I think he, again, everyone, it's cool to say Ed Sheeran's rubbish, isn't it? People are like, oh, he's crap, like, he's just sell out, he just plays easy music. But some of his stuff, like, if you actually go through it and have a listen, it's like, really good lyricism. He has clearly got a good voice.
Yeah.
He can play
Divide
the guitar.
is a very, very good album.
Yeah.
It's a very good
Yeah,
album.
I think it's just such an easy thing to go, he's sold out. His music's just easy.
Yeah.
It's like, it's what people want. It sounds good.
Yeah, exactly.
If you could, though, like create your favourite thing, your best music, whatever you wanted to create, do you have a vision of how it'd sound?
Sort of. So, you know the stuff that Harley Blue's doing?
Yeah,
All
yeah.
of that sort of stuff is really cool. It's sort of like neo-soul, R&B type stuff.
Bit of funk in there, because Giuseppe on the keys as well.
Love Giuseppe. Been doing some bits with Giuseppe. We're supposed to be writing together at some point. But all the stuff that he's doing, you know, his new track, Couple Bucks.
Oh, mate,
Love that song.
That's beastly, isn't it?
So good. That's the sort of stuff that I would really want to make.
Okay, yeah, mate.
You know,
do you know
get
what?
into that
I
scene.
would love to hear you on that style.
See, the sort of the new stuff that I've been working on. So we've been doing some songs with Jay, and we're doing that at Ruffle in Nottingham. Love that studio. So good. And then I've been doing some stuff on my own at home, just writing and producing it up myself. And working with my mate Charlie.
Okay,
Charlie Jackson.
Sick. Shout out.
Yeah.
Out, Charlie.
Love Charlie. He's really, really good at what
Will
he
he be
does.
watching this?
Yeah. he
Subscribe,
should be.
mate. Subscribe.
Giuseppe's been working with Charlie as well. He's pretty much does everything for Seppi. And he's really, really good. So I've been doing stuff that's more like that whole neo-soul R&B scene.
Have you heard of a guy called Still Woozy? Have you heard of him?
Yeah, he's cool.
That sort of vibe as well. And Tom Mish.
Yeah, I love Tom Mish.
Tim, is it Mish?
Yeah.
Dyslexia, it's always failed me, brother. But I tell you what's really good on Spotify, I think Spotify have just nailed music now, haven't they? They've got it. And I built a playlist, and then it ran out of all my songs, but then it just started taking me down a bit of a rabbit hole of different artists.
I love that so much.
Oh, mate, some of the music that I've just ended up falling on now is music for life for me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, even that Mac Miller vibe and stuff.
Yeah.
Some of his old stuff was coming on, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, so good.
Chance the Rapper.
That song, Friends, featuring Schoolboy Q by Mac Miller. That's one of my favourite songs ever.
Have you seen his NPR session?
Yeah,
Tiny Desk.
so good. Thundercat was on bass there. He's bloody brilliant.
Yeah.
He's so good.
Mate, you know your music, don't you?
Listening
To it, and you're like, do you really like just spend most of your time making it and the rest of the time listening to it and getting inspiration?
Pretty much. Yeah, I try to listen to music whenever I can.
Yeah.
You know, because I think, you know, an artist would look at other pieces of work and see, I like that. I'll try and incorporate that into mine. I think it's the same for any
That's again something you're blessed with and a beautiful part of your mind, because a lot of people can't listen to other artists because their ego and narcissism comes out, and they're like, oh no, I don't want to hear other people doing good art because I want to be the artist.
Yeah.
But for you to be able to go, no, I'm going to listen to this, get inspiration here, and build my own music from it. It's just such a beautiful attitude to have.
See, my art is the product of everyone who I listen to.
Yeah.
And my human condition, I'll say. Like the way that I view those works.
Yeah.
And
build it into your own perspective.
Exactly. I like to take factors from everything that I like, and just take it in. So I'll be listening to some like Barrington Levi, you know, all that reggae dub stuff.
Yeah.
And then I'll just try and incorporate some bits of like some little guitar riffs in one of my tracks or something like that. And stuff like Tom Mish. Have you heard his new album with Use of Days?
Yeah, man. Yeah,
So
I've been listening
good.
to it all recently.
It's so good.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. It's a brilliant
Loyal
album.
Kana as well in there.
Yeah, I like Loyal Kana.
But that's probably why you've got to where you've got to as well. In the terms of what I said before, you when you come on, you have to look up. You're like, oh, there's something new being done here.
Yeah.
But it's because you've been willing to take on bits and pieces and have such an eclectic mix.
Yeah.
And not just down one rabbit hole of it.
Yeah.
For me, like when I was starting out, I'd not really heard. I thought I'd created spoken word. I was like, it'd be like poetry, but rap, but without a beat, and I'll get on the stage and do, I've invented it. So the one thing, it was good that I was naive, because I'd not heard other stuff like Young People Clark and
everything into it.
I didn't have a sound built up from other people. I just made my own up, and it sort of come out authentic and real. You do hear when people have listened to an artist for too long, right, I'm gonna get in trouble here, I know a fact I will. Females sometimes have all listened to an artist called Kate. Do you know Kate Tempest?
I think so.
She's like rap / spoken word. She did. She was the only poet to ever like headline Glastonbury or be one of the big acts at Glastonbury. Smashed it. But there's a lot of females that have just ended up imitating her voice and just doing. I can literally do it for you now. It's sort of like, he went around and took him down, and everything just sounds like this and that. And you're like, come on, like, do you. Just do you. I mean, honestly, the amount of hate I'm going to get now. But if you hate it, it's because it touches your nerves. And if it touches your nerves, it means it's you. My brother... I know for a fact my missus wants me to take her out now for a Sunday dinner. That's the plan for today. Have you got anything rest for the day?
Oh, just chill out.
Chill out?
Yeah, just relax.
Gaming? What was the game
probably,
you played?
Probably that, or a bit of F1.
Bit of F1?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Right, matey. Can you tell the audience and tell the good people at home where they can find all your stuff and what's coming up?
It's Beau Presley on all streaming platforms.
You've done this before, haven't you, brother?
always room for a cheeky plug in there. And working on an EP at the moment, so look out for that.
You're a wicked guy. I want to be your mate.
Thank you.
I'm 27. I shouldn't have 15-year-old mates. You're dead cool. You're just like on a level, mate. That's quality. And you've pinky promised we're doing a track together. You heard it. You heard it.
100%.
Guys, again, you've been a part of the Old Farm Bus. Back at the bus sessions. I am taking on guests at the minute. You know, I've gone through the whole catalogue of people. You've all been amazing. I love you to pieces. If you want to get on here, give me a bell. Peace and love. Be nice to one another.